Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today we're discussing Thai women, common stereotypes and misconceptions. A new series where we sort of delve a bit deeper into how to sort of get a bit more success out of living here in Thailand. There are a few casualties in terms of expats having a hard time here. We will be using Steph's cartoons. We've used these before, asked his permission, they're fantastic. But we're going to start with those stereotypes. And the first thing you might encounter, well, back in the day anyway, was being called a handsome man all the time. And it kind of went to your head a bit. You kind of walked out of a restaurant or a bar after being called handsome, thinking you're actually handsome. It does go to guys' heads. So there is that kind of stereotype that Farangs are considered demigods by Thai women. Almost like if you can land a Farang, that's it. You've won the lottery. Now this has kind of changed over the years, and I think a lot of it is to do with social media, because back before Facebook, YouTube and all that sort of stuff, the only kind of exposure to Farangs or Westerners was through the news or through movies. So we were kind of like, wow, all loaded with money. So this has changed because social media has kind of normalized us, which is a good thing, I think, because there's a lot of idiots out here. I mean, expats, losers, bottom feeders, whatever you want to call them. And Thai women, I think, have kind of locked onto this and realise that men are men. You got winners and you got losers. And also the government has changed, which is also I'm not going to say too much about that, but there has been a kind of inkling of more negative attitude towards Westerners, Farangs through Facebook and certain social media platforms. So that, I feel, has changed the shift towards the demigod handsome man type attitude towards Western guys. However, researching this topic, I did still find the old how to land a Falang on the internet. It's still out there, and what not to say in a bar, which I found quite amusing. Number two, linked in with the handsome man syndrome is that Thai women are kind of easy. They're all like from patty a bar girl type. Falling at your feet as you're walking along like John Travolta in your sandals, and it's not like that at all. There are a lot of professional women, a lot of women who are just not interested in your money. A lot of women earn very good money here in Thailand, and they just want a good man and a stable relationship. So when you mix the handsome man syndrome to Thai women are easy, you can end up with a pretty warped idea of Thai women in general. Now the other stereotype I've heard is jealousy and Thai women being submissive, and it's not to do with Thai women being easy. It is connected to the jealousy issue, which I went into in a previous video. But most of the women I've had the pleasure of having relationships with have been pretty jealous and submissive in the sense that the headache, I've got a headache syndrome, doesn't really exist, because the two are intertwined. There is a lot of insecurity, as I've said it in previous video, to do with infidelity here. So it's almost fear of losing the partner that the Thai women, not all, but a lot, will be more submissive sexually, and also be more jealous. And if you go on forums, there is quite a lot on this topic. So although that's a stereotype, it kind of rings true for me anyway. Thai women need to be taken care of and given monthly allowances and all that sort of stuff. Now this does happen, there's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of relationships I know are kind of pretty equal, mine included. But it will happen, and these monthly payments that are made by guys of a certain age to girls of a certain age will determine if the relationship continues, because obviously, although you think you're a handsome man, if those monthly payments stop, the young lady will probably be looking for a new sponsor. So it does happen quite a lot, but as I said, there's a lot of women out there that are not interested in your money, and a lot of cases have more than you. You'll see them walking around the business districts in Bangkok. They're not interested in your money or you. They want a good relationship. By saying that, there are horror stories. Thailand is infamous for its horror stories in terms of relationships. Guys sitting outside 7-Eleven begging because they've lost everything to a bar girl. And I've seen it. There was a guy here who used to get punched on the arm. He's girlfriend at the time used to punch him on the arm for 500 baht every time she needed money, and we were all sitting around going, don't get involved with her, mate, it's terrible, don't do it. And what did he do? He ended up marrying her, bought a Toyota Vios and a house, and I don't know where he is now, but he lost everything. So it does happen, but a lot of it, not in every case, a lot of it is down to common sense. And personally, when I first met my wife just viewed me as a backpacker, and I noticed things, or there were behaviours that happened at the beginning or start of our relationship that proved to me that she was a good lady. And you kind of have to do this. It doesn't matter where you are, in Thailand or anywhere. I mean, at the beginning of a relationship, you kind of get flags, and if you can't see the flags, then I'm sorry, at the end of the day, you're an idiot. Right, another common misconception is that Thailand is a patriarchy. It's all male dominated. I mean, you see the pretties and everything looks like it's sexualized. I mean, the West would go bloody into a meltdown if they saw what went on in Thailand. But it's not. I think, and I'm putting this out there, I think Thailand is more of a matriarchy. Behind the scenes, the women pull all the strings in terms of, I don't know, I've bought land, I've done business here, I've seen a lot of relationships, relatives of my wife, and the women run the show. It might not be in the forefront in the media and stuff like that, but they pretty much do. And I've got personal stories of big guys here in Dak who get given an allowance each month by the wife, even though they're sort of the big guy, they're sort of strutting around. The wife runs it. And if they're naughty, and I've seen this happen as well, and they're drunk and they should be somewhere else, being pulled by the ear to get kicked up the arse, and wrapped on the knuckles. So yes, it's viewed as a patriarchy, but women kind of run things in the background. All right, final one is that most Thai women or girlfriends just want to live in your home country. And this ain't true. It wasn't true for me anyway. I kind of blame my wife's cousin for this. She married a guy in the northeast of England, where the weather up there is pretty bad. I mean, it's horrific, especially if you're from Thailand. She just consistently moaned about the UK whenever she came back, which I kind of agreed with a lot of what she said. I mean, the taxes and the community tax and just the weather, and there's no decent suntan in that part of the world. So they don't all want to live in your home country, and a lot of guys, Thai women have issues when they move away from their home country in terms of missing their family, which Thai women, the family unit is very close. So that is a common misconception. And for a lot of guys, it's quite nice to come and live here, so bear that in mind. Right, now onto the section where I might get a bit of stick. Now, there have been about 4 characteristics that have run consistently through the women I've met here in Thailand. And the first one is they can't go a week without somtam, usually the fermented fish pala variety. The second one is they're always fantastic daughters and support their mum and dad. Number 3, for some reason, they always collect the stamps at 7-Eleven and Tesco, even if it's, I don't know, to get some lunchbox for kids that you don't even use. And lastly, I might get a bit of heat on this, but all of them thought Canada was in Europe. And before you go nuts, all these women are more intelligent than me. I blame the Thai school system for that one. All right, there you go. I'm sure there are more, and if you can think of any, whack them down in the comments section below. I don't know, it's things you agree with, you don't agree with. Some things might ring true with you, like they did with me. They're not all stereotypes. And Steph, fantastic, genius cartoons. He's been here a while, I think, so from judging from his observations. My favourite is still the dual pricing cartoon from the last video. Absolutely hit the nail on the head. And I can tell he's been here a while because back in the day, Songkran time, big water festival here, I'd be running around with a water gun and a stupid shirt. Now I'm locked up in the aircon room, get me deliveries in from 7-Eleven. I don't do Songkran and I don't do Christmas. Maybe I'm just turning into a miserable old git, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was kind of off the cuff. And as I said, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Anyway, on that note, I say stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video.